Welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is my pleasure, our honor, to facilitate this event. Every single month, we do it on the third Tuesday. It's free, it's open to the public, and it's right here at the Community Center on Aroso. We even throw in coffee in Danish, courtesy of Steamworks Coffee. They're with us at a couple of our shows. Everybody loves them. They're brick and mortar right on US 1. Make sure you're checking out Steamworks Coffee. But we have a full house today, and it might be because of our first guest, our sponsor for today. And coming into the area, a lot of chatter, a lot of excitement. I know it's always nervous because it's your first day. You're not sure if somebody's going to ask you to the prom, but I keep reassuring you they will. But please welcome Paul DeMay from the Pickleball Club.
Good morning, everyone. It's our pleasure to be here today and be part of the community. And I look forward to having you all come join us at the Pickleball Club. It's across the street from the Clover Stadium on Enterprise Drive.
So, Paul, tell me, tell us what the concept of the Pickleball Club, because I've started playing pickleball as people of my age should, right? And I find it difficult. You have to get there early to get a court at the public courts, or you have to live in a gated community, which my husband wouldn't fit in. So tell us a little bit more about this club.
Okay, so our founders, Brian and Valerie McCarthy, they were experiencing the same situation as you were referring to. And they thought, it'd be so nice to have an indoor facility that we wouldn't have to worry about the weather in Florida, the bugs, the sun, the wind. So they talked more and more with their friends in regards to what would they like to envision. And as a group, they came up with a membership-driven indoor pickleball club that would have instruction, tournaments, programs, leagues, a haven really for all pickleball enthusiasts of all ages, from youths to seniors, from beginners to super advanced players. And so that's what they did. They started with our first location over in Sarasota that opened a year ago in May. We are going to be the second location, and we hope to be open by June. This week, we are actually installing the canopies on the courts outside.
Yep. Which you're going to open a little sooner, right?
We're trying to.
Okay.
We're trying to. So everything depends upon certificate of occupancy and all that other
yes, it does.
Fun stuff. But in a nutshell, the Pickleball Club is a membership-driven club, of course, with all the amenities that you would expect from a private club. So we have a cafe, we have a pro shop, we have entertainment space, we have locker rooms. We will have 12 indoor courts, 2 outdoor courts, 2 outdoor bocce ball courts, the outdoor area, and then we have a mezzanine level that overlooks all the courts inside. Those are open to rental for private parties, whether it be a Christmas party or a 50th birthday party or what have you.
Very good.
The courts, and it's a state of the art because traditionally most pickleball playing surfaces are asphalt or cement.
Right.
Or converted gymnasiums. Ours here in St. Lucie West are going to be 8 layers of acrylic, so it's going to be much more forgiving on your joints. All the courts are gated or fenced in with a bolster pad so you can lean on the fence to watch the play. All the courts have PlaySight, which is a videotape recorder, so that the members can videotape their play and critique it and use it for instruction and also for advancement.
I am not that serious about it. We're good.
You may not be, but there are many others that are out there that are.
Okay. Yeah, I believe you're probably right. How many of you play pickleball? You do just
a spattering.
Really? I love it. I do. But I did find the outside. First of all, I'm a bit of an indoor cat, right? Like I don't love but if the wind's over like 15 miles an hour, my eyes start watering. And I realized that I can't clock the ball after 6:44 p.m., no matter how many lights you put on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all of our lighting is going to be up lighting. So if you are going to slam a ball and you're looking straight up at the ceiling, there's no glare. So it helps you with your game to
Very
smash
good.
it back at your opponent.
Yes, and if you don't enjoy that,
Who doesn't? Come on.
don't play with Sean Boyle. But yes, I do love the pickleball. I'm excited about it. I can't wait because I have a group of friends I play with. They take it very seriously, and I honestly cannot see the ball after 6:44. I'm not young anymore. I can see it. I just don't know how fast it's going or where it's going because the lighting's off. So I can't wait till this opens.
I can't wait for it to open as well.
I'm trying to get my friends to join too, and I think they will. But a lot of them want to see it.
Yep.
They want to touch it. They want to feel. You know how people are.
Exactly.
I know, but I definitely will.
Exactly.
Well, if they want to join and learn more about it, how should they get in touch with you?
They can call us at 772-212-4662, or they can follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and all the connection information is there.
Okay.
If you're interested in membership, you can contact my membership director. His name is David Velez.
Yep.
At the same number, 772-212-4662. And I can't take you to the club right now because
yet.
of construction, but hopefully very
and we'll
soon.
do a big grand opening so everybody
Absolutely,
can come and check it out. I'm
absolutely.
sure you'll get lots of members after we do a big grand opening.
Absolutely.
But we got to get you open. We got to get you settled, and then
Exactly.
we'll have a big event out there.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, thank you for being with us,
Well,
and thank
thank
you for
you.
your partnership.
My pleasure. It's a joy to be here.
Good. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back. And today we're going to be visiting with Councilman David Pickett. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am Teresa Aronson. As I mentioned earlier from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce, I'm here with Councilman David Pickett. David, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again.
David, you've finished one full term or two? One?
Well, I haven't finished it yet. This is my first term.
Yeah. You're finishing it.
Finishing it up, yes.
Very good. So how has it been so far? What is your takeaway from the first 4 years?
I have learned so much. And I tell this story every time I go someplace. You prepare for office. You go to the meetings. You study. All that good stuff. And then when you get elected and you raise your hand and they swear you in, and then they open the curtain, you don't know half of what you thought you knew. And
Sure.
I've spent the last 3.5 years. It's been a learning process every day, and I learn something every day.
Good. You know, Leadership St. Lucie is kind of like that too. I've been doing it for, 17 years and went through it over 2 decades ago. And I facilitate it now, right? So every year, every class, I still learn something new. Things change, things evolve, we get new things. So it's amazing. The learning process for your community really never ends.
Well, I think if it does, then it's time for you to move on.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. So I want to do something. I know that you guys have the Citizens Academy, right? Where any citizen can come in and go through a program. How is it 6 weeks?
I think it's 8.
Is it 8 weeks? Program to learn more about the city specifically. My leadership is for community leaders, future and present, and it's a year-long program. Yeah. But I've thought about doing something a little more expansive. I hope to someday. For citizens.
Well, the one thing about the program that the city has, I took it when I first got elected, and you learn so much about the city. They take you in, they show you the finance, the police come and talk to you. You go to the public works. That was the coolest thing for me, going to the public works, and they bring all the trucks out there and everything they use to clean the swales out and all that stuff. Because like a big kid, I like the big Tonka toys, and that's. They had it all out in the parking lot, and you could go, oh, can I ride that? No, you can't. So.
Yeah. We actually have something similar. In leadership, they call it the toy box, but it's out by the fair, and it's the county first responders. Okay. Toys for like scuba bombs and all that stuff is out there. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Like you're seeing all these military type vehicles and you don't get to see that. It's not like you can walk up and knock on the door and be like, hey, pull this stuff out. Let me take a look-see.
Well, the nice thing about having them in the parking lot, they had the parking lot out to mid-Florida, is they're up close and personal. You can go up and actually see them instead of seeing them from a distance or seeing them going down the road. You get to go up and you get to look and see how they operate. And the one machine that they have that they clean the swells out with, oh my gosh, I don't know how the guy ever, there's so many levers in there. I don't know how the guy that ever learned to control all those levers, because there's a lever to make it do anything and everything that you can think about.
Yeah, and it's not like there's some course somewhere on drainage cleaning.
You certainly don't have a YouTube video to show you
for how to operate the. Speaking of drainage, as you know, I sit on a lot of boards and meetings, and it looks like we are going to have our citizens be responsible for their own swales yet again.
Well, they have been for a long time. It's always been the city maintains a certain portion of it, but you're obligated to clean out your own swell. Twice a year they will come by and they'll clean out the swells for you.
Yeah.
But the day-to-day maintenance is up on the citizen.
And what I meant to say actually is they're gonna start putting the liners
back in.
Yeah.
We had
the liners. Do you all know what we're talking about? Those black
liners,
swale liners. They're going back in.
Yeah.
Which there's two trains of thought. You love them, you hate them. They get chipped up by your lawnmowers, but they're going back in.
They do exactly what they were designed to do: move the water.
Yeah.
And at first I was against them, and we voted them out. And then the couple properties next to me, they got redone, built up on, and they didn't have the swell liners on it. And come the first hard rain, and all that water backed up in my yard. So I got to rethink my position on it.
Well, there's some science to it, to be honest, and so I'm not opposed to either way, but I do think that this is more proactive in moving the water.
It really is.
So this is probably the better option. But yeah, so you're all going to get your swale liners back eventually. So we'll see how that goes. I actually have a couple of pieces of swale liners still left in my yard.
Mine never come out.
They didn't?
No, it was one of those things where if it needed to get replaced, then the city wasn't going to replace them. But now we've gone back to them, so they will replace them. And we've had it we went back to it a couple months ago. So the program's back.
Yeah. What else is going on in the city of Port
Well,
St.
I want
Lucie?
to talk about some things that's coming up. Last week we had, this actually happened. Last week the submariners put a new monument here in Port St. Lucie. This weekend we're going to have a dedication for the Iraq-Afghanistan monument. And that's going to be a Veterans Park, and it's going to take place, and I believe there's flyers on everybody's table.
And unfortunately, I think everybody watching the show is going to have missed it.
Yeah, they'll miss it. So.
Because this is next month's show, just
I
so you
always
know.
forget that.
I know, it's all right. That's what I'm here for. So, they're going to miss that.
But the nice thing about this monument is it's been 2 years in the making. The gentleman that, the founder of the foundation, him and I met 2 years ago, and he started raising funds. The council approved it, and we accepted delivery on it last week. It's actually set in Veterans Memorial Park right now, but it's covered up. The one nice thing about this monument is this monument is dedicated to veterans of my era. These are the wars that I fought in, the wars I supported, and more importantly, there's names on the back of the monument. There's 349 names on the back of the monument, and they're all Floridians who died,
gave their life,
killed in action,
service
in
of this
combat.
country. Yep.
And there's one particular name on there that's very near and dear to my heart, because that young man was a soldier that was in my company.
Oh.
And so that's why that monument is not only that those are the wars that I fought in, excuse me, but because of that young man.
You have a personal connection.
Right, I have a personal connection, correct.
That's very nice.
And then we just, there's another monument that we're doing. It's a monument for PTSD, people with PTSD and mental issues. We just had a call to artists. There was 25 people submitted for this particular monument, and they've narrowed it down to the last 3. So in the coming months, it'll come before council, and we'll approve the which monument selection we want. And where it's going to be determined, because Veterans Memorial Park, I think, is pretty much full.
Oh,
so
is it?
It's probably going to end up going out to Stars and Stripes. So,
I was hoping we could keep everything down there so it could be a huge, monument to all our servicemen and women.
Well, depending on how big the monument is, there's a small piece of real estate, probably about as big as this desk. So it's not very big that's left where we could put a monument at, but just depending on how big this one's going to be, depends upon where
it's
it'll
gonna
be
go.
placed. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to encourage everybody to head over. And if you don't know, it's on Westmoreland. Veterans Memorial Park is on Westmoreland, just north of the boat ramp.
Correct.
So head on over there and take a look at all these monuments, because the unveiling has happened.
It has happened, yes.
There you go. All right, what else do you want to talk about?
Well, we got some infrastructure projects that we got going on I want to talk about, because that's pretty near and dear to everybody's heart. This year, here shortly, we're going to be starting on Torino. I know most everybody travels.
Roundabouts, is that
Yeah,
what
the
we started?
roundabouts.
Okay, all right.
Where East and West Torino come together. They're going to put a roundabout there. They're going to put a roundabout at Blanton. And more importantly, if you live in the Torino area and you try to get out of Torino in the morning, you'll know that, you know what I'm talking about. Traffic backs up and you set through 2 or 3 lights to get out. So Public Works and I had a conversation.
You mean onto Midway?
Onto Midway,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
So Public Works and I had a conversation, and I said, hey, don't we own the right-of-way on both sides of that road? Yes, we do. I said, so how hard would it be and how expensive would it be to add a turn lane where dedicated to turning right and onto Midway, and extending the turn lane we turn left onto Midway to head out to 95. And that way you can get more cars through each stoplight intersection.
Yeah, you need 2 going left for sure, right? And then 1 going right.
So they agreed with me, and they did a little study, and they come up and they said, okay, and they're actually going to do it when they go to do the roundabouts.
Good.
So-
That'll be helpful. I mean, Midway's, let's be honest, it's a hot mess anyway, right?
Well,
So,
the county will get it there.
well,
sooner
the
or later.
county finished their part, but that's the only part that's working well. You can move through the county part, but the state, we're still holding out for the state. And then, of course, eventually there'll be, a turnpike interchange there, and it will be a lot less cumbersome. So let's talk about roundabouts, because whenever we bring up roundabouts, I always do my roundabout PSA, as you know, because no matter how many times we talk about it, there are still people that are confused by roundabouts.
Yeah.
And that is a real hazard. So here's the deal. First rule of roundabouts, don't ever stop once you're in the roundabout.
Don't talk about roundabouts.
Yeah. First rule of Fight Club.
Yes, don't talk
Which, frankly, is synonymous with, it's basically the same as a roundabout. Never stop in a roundabout. Once you get in the roundabout, just keep going. If there's 2 lanes, the second lane has option to go right, but the first lane, the outside lane, must go right at the next right? You cannot get in that thing and go all the way around on the outside. Third, if there are arrows, like there is out in St. Lucie West, follow them.
Yes.
They're there for a reason. So I see it all the time. And I don't know why it's so hard.
It's something that's new. It's a new concept to us here in the States. When I was in Europe, when I was 18, 19 years old, I know that's been a long time ago, but it's very commonplace to have roundabouts. And
It is very European,
So-
and I feel like we push back. I mean, roundabouts are like the metric system
Right.
to Americans. We are revolting against your European fanciness.
but it's a great way to keep traffic flowing.
It is a great way if you use them
If
correctly.
they're used correctly,
If they're
that's
used
right.
correctly. So I will continue. It's been 10 years of roundabout PSAs. I don't know if it's done a lot of good. I now do Young Floridian training in the schools, in the high schools. I took that over from Jerry. And roundabout training is part of my Young Floridian training
Really?
now. Yeah, listen, all those kids are on the road with us, right? So I'm like, well, I have you. Can I just tell you a couple more life lesson things you should know?
Well, the one thing when you're in Europe, to get a international driver's license, you have to pass the international driver's license test, and the roundabout, negotiating roundabouts is actually part of it. That's part of getting the
We
license.
don't even
and-
parallel park here in
No.
Florida for driver's tests, right? We're really phoning it in.
Well, getting the international driver's license was actually harder for me to get a CDL, because you have a 50 question test of all the different signs, and then you have the actual road test. That wasn't the hard part. It was the signs, because here what we have: stop,
Go,
yield, and that's it.
Crosswalk.
And in Europe, there's 50 different signs that you have to learn, and you're actually tested on them. And I think you had to score like a 95% or higher.
Wow.
To pass. So
I don't mind that, right?
But
I'd be down for a harder test for passing for
we're
people
talking
to
about
drive.
We're talking about a country where you were able to drive on the Autobahn. You could drive unlimited speed limit. So
You can.
you need to know what you're doing
Yeah.
to
yeah.
negotiate those speeds.
Well, 95 is pretty much turned into the Autobahn,
Yeah.
so you do need to know what you're doing too. It's like a Thunderdome out there every day at 5.
So's California.
Yeah.
Or no, I mean Crosstown.
Crosstown.
Yeah, Crosstown.
Yeah. It's gotten a little crazy. We digress though. What else do we? But yes, there you go. There's our.
Crosstown was. I mean, not Crosstown.
That's your next one?
California was my next lead in. I've had a lot of. I say a lot. I've done 3 outreach to our HOAs up and along Crosstown. Daggone it, up and along California. We're getting ready to widen California, and it's still in the conceptual stage. But as you can imagine, people that live in those HOAs along there, that's going to be affected. They're very concerned about how close it's going to come to their home and so on and so forth.
Sure.
And I've been out there to the different HOAs talking to but the main thing is there's a misconception of they think we're going to do it today, and it's not. It's still conceptual, and everything that we have it was outreach to see what the public had to say about it.
Right.
And one thing that I did when we had the public outreach meetings was people wrote their comment cards, and I had Public Works. I said I want every single one of them. I don't want a white paper. I want every single comment card, because I want to see what you had to say, because what you had to say it affects what I'm going to do, how I'm going to approach the project. And I think there was I think I have close to 100 comments.
Nice.
From different residents.
So coming from the Chamber of Commerce and the business community, I go back and forth because sometimes they have things to say that you didn't think about, right?
Exactly.
So you have to
Exactly.
look at them, you have to listen to them. You definitely need to know what they're talking about, because there is almost always a time where you think, oh, I didn't think of that.
And
When a
that's
resident
exactly-
comes, and has a comment. But then at the same time, you are governing for everyone as a whole and what
Right.
is the universal good, right? Because oftentimes, everywhere we go, and we don't call them charrettes anymore, but they're charrettes, right? Where you go and you do public workshops and you get their opinions. But nobody wants anything in their backyard. But so for instance, you can't get cell service in tradition, but nobody wants a cell tower, right?
Exactly.
They're super mad about no cell service in tradition, but how dare you think about putting a cell tower anywhere near my house? And so I'm sure the people that live on California are stuck in traffic on a regular basis and hate
Anybody
it.
who travels up and down California from St. Lucie West trying to get to Crosstown, there's been days when I've taken, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. I'm coming from St. Lucie West, and I want to get to Crosstown to head home, and I get stuck in traffic.
Yeah, for a
And
very
it
long
takes,
time.
takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to get from St. Lucie West to Crosstown because of the school, the stoplights, and all this and all that. Traffic
Yeah.
just backs up. So I mean, there's a definite need for the 2 lanes, but like you said, people will make comments that you may not have thought of.
For sure.
And that's why it was so important for me to get the comment cards, because I wanted to read every one of them. I didn't want the staff to
give you
dismiss something.
Yes.
And it was
And I
a
agree with
great
you.
comment or a great suggestion, and it gets dismissed by staff. I wanted to see what everybody had to say. That was important to me, because one thing that I do is these projects that it affects you. I put myself in your position. I may not live there, but I want to know what you're thinking about this particular project, because that might be my neighborhood someday.
It might. And people need to, remember, and I get it because it's hard because we're all human, that unless you own the 10 acres around you, the 10 acres around you will change, So what you buy into is not a guarantee for a lifetime. And it's tough for people to understand that. And I get that. And I do. I lived next to 2 empty lots when I moved in. But
So did I.
If you buy a house.
It was nice for a while, but
it was great while it lasted.
now both the one lot has a home on it, and the other one just got cleared the other day, and it's still odd for me to walk outside and not see any trees beside my house. And now the land's open, and luckily I've met the neighbors. They were there over the weekend, and I come out of the house, and it just happened to come out of the house and see them, and I introduced myself, and welcome to the neighborhood. And,
very nice.
I mean, it's gonna be different having a home on both sides of me now after being there for 10 years and not having anything.
Yeah, it's a little sad. The good thing about my one neighbor on the one side that did build, he built this extravagant, beautiful house. So he just raised my property value by a great deal. I bought a little tiny house, but he just built this beautiful, with cupolas and the whole 9 yards.
So did you thank him?
I should thank him. Thank you for raising my property
Make sure you
values.
send him a Christmas card.
I will. But yeah, so it's hard for people to change. Is not anybody's forte. I don't care who you are. Change is an issue.
It's always something to deal with because you get used to something being a certain way, and then circumstances change something, and then you have to relearn something or something like that, and it becomes sometimes a hard pill for people to swallow.
It is. But hopefully everybody understands that is just how the world works.
Yeah,
it's not anybody's fault.
No.
Yeah.
And here in South Florida, we're going to continue to go through some changes.
We are still one of the fastest growing cities in
Yes.
the U.S., so it's going to change.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Floresta. Phase 2 is coming along really well. And
Phase 2 is crosstown to Port St. Lucie Boulevard? Ish?
Thornhill, that
to
area right in there.
Thornhill to Port St. Lucie,
And
further south.
It's on track, and it should be done here by the end of the year. And we just approved Phase 3 to fund Phase 3. And the most important thing about this is California, and Floresta. That's all getting paid for by the half-cent sales tax.
That we all voted in, so.
And we all voted for it. Well, most of us voted for it.
I voted for it.
There's a few people who didn't, but overwhelmingly, the citizens of Port St. Lucie voted it in. And to date, I think we've collected like almost $90 million off that tax. And the important thing the important takeaway from this is the money that's collected from that sales tax that we voted on is used on projects, infrastructure projects, and unlike other things in government, you pay money, you pay taxes and all this and all that, and you never really see fruits of your labor.
Sure.
With the half-cent sales tax, when they do a project,
You tell us.
they proudly put a sign out
Yeah.
there. This is paid for, but so you can see where that money's going, and it's not burdened by just the people, the taxpayers here. Anybody who comes here and spends money, they're helping
Yeah.
to pay for that, and that's the beauty of it.
Oh, that brings up something. Tourism tax is just to visitors, right? So everybody knows that. We just did a class the other day, a leadership class, and I think people were unaware that tourism tax is what paid for Met Stadium.
Right.
We don't pay for Met Stadium. Tourists do. So all the money's
And the bed tax.
Yeah, it's a bed tax. Yeah, bed tax. It's for short-term rentals. They pay an extra 5%, and that's how they maintain the stadium, and it's also how they pay off the bonds that built the stadium. So we don't pay for it as
Right.
taxpayers, but we do benefit from it. So I think since you brought it up, I thought I'd tell everybody that.
That's a nice plug.
I know. Get out and see the Mets. Go out and support them, though. What else you got? I want to make sure we get to everything before we do questions.
Tradition Village Parkway mobility improvement. We got a $1.5 million that's going to be added to the next year's budget.
And that's just for intersection. Yeah, yeah.
These are projects that we have.
When you
up
say
and coming.
mobility, I'm like, are you going to build us a golf cart trail, or But these are intersections because mobility could be anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Gatlin Savona intersection improvement, Cameo Boulevard and Port St. Lucie Boulevard intersection improvement. Let's see what else we got. Rosser and Dreyfus intersection improvement roundabout. These are all just projects.
Rosser and Dreyfus. Is that just? Oh, it's south of the library.
Correct.
They have a stop sign now.
Yes.
And there's going to be a roundabout
Supposedly, yeah.
soon.
27, 28.
27, 20.
Fiscal
No.
year 27, 28.
What are we in? 24, 23, 24.
24.
Yeah. All right.
Still a few years out, but
Okay.
it's coming. But
Good to know.
Those are all just some projects that we have up and coming in the infrastructure, and that's one of the biggest things that we hear. Everybody, we all have problems navigating from one place to the other because of the continued growth here in Port St. Lucie, and it's something that we've all taken into account, and we're trying to do it, but you can't do all these projects at once because of money.
Yeah, money, and you can't have every road being worked on simultaneously.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's not something that we've dismissed. It's something that we're fully aware of, but you have to have a game plan, and I think we have a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean, we work with the professionals, TPOs and engineers and traffic people, and, so it's not like, hey, the council decided today we're going to go do California, because...
No, it's a process to get to that point, and it's not something that you just wake up in the morning and go, hey, let's go tear this road up.
Yeah. So. Well, it is summertime, so I guess you guys will be working on the budget soon, right?
Yes.
Almost summertime.
We have our strategic
Spring.
workshop coming up. Well, by the time this airs, it already have happened, but this Thursday and Friday we work on that, and then we'll have our workshop in a month or so, and then the budget and all that good stuff. So it's all up and coming.
And we'll be doing our Schools Out program with the Mets. And just so everybody knows, if you bring a child to a game, a designated game will get you the date in May. That child will go home with some books for the summer, and we will pay for you to get in.
Oh, that's nice. My grandson was down here for spring break, and he says, "Papa, you going to take me to a ball game?" I said, "You know I am, son."
Yeah.
And that was the greatest day of his life.
So my dad and my uncle are huge baseball fans. They both played football in college, oddly enough. As Asian men, yes, they played football. And they love baseball. That's their first love. So they're both in their 80s. I think my Uncle Bob's like 85, and he plans his trips down here around the baseball games. Yeah. But I was able to get them, they threw out the first pitch at a game a couple years ago, my dad and my uncle together. Yeah, my dad was, I think, 81. My uncle's like 84. Nice. It was so sweet. So we hope to do that again this year.
I'm still trying to do that.
They're out of first pitch?
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Can we?
I might know a guy. I got a guy. Yeah.
Shameless plug to
shameless
have Dave
plug.
Pickett throw out the first pitch at a Mets game.
Yes, we'll try to make that happen. And for my other talk show, Covering the Bases with the Mets, along with Coffee with the Chair. So I do a couple other talk shows. One of them's with the Mets. So I might know a guy or a gal that can make that happen.
All right.
All right, we'll get you a first pitch.
Thank you very much.
All right. With that, we are going to thank everybody for coming. We're going to do some questions, though. But as I mention every month on the show, if you want to ask your questions, we don't film it. Some people are intimidated about being filmed. And so come down here. It's free. It's open to the public. It happens at 8:15-ish. On the third Tuesday of the month at the Community Center on Aroso.
You know, this is the first time that this room has been filled that I've been in here. I think there's more people here for this than the other times I've been combined. And I walked in and I was like, wow, the room's full.
It is full.
It was for pickleball.
Well, but only 3 people played pickleball. 4 if you want to include me. But yeah, I think we're doing a good job of trying to get the community involved. There's a lot of good information that comes down here. Plus, you get to ask your questions if you come. So with that, I want to thank Steamworks, as always, Michael, right there on US 1. Great job they do for us. He was a big winner for us at our awards this year, and we appreciate him so very much. And of course, the Pickleball Club. We can't wait till you open. We're going to do a big grand opening. And your staff here at the city, Gus is on his own today. Apparently, they let Avi take a vacation from time to time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He worked yesterday.
He did. Yeah, well, today he's off. And then, of course, my staff as well for pulling this all together, making sure everybody's here and all that kind of great stuff. So I appreciate them and all of you for coming. And
Thank you.
we'll sign off, and then we'll take some questions here with the audience. So have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.